Yo, what's up everybody? Fornitron here. And today we are back again with another Sunday tech support stream. So for those of you who don't know, this is my main channel, or my old channel, and I posted a lot of how-to for like streaming and like making a YouTube channel for like Let's Play stuff. And I try to like dip into like gaming stuff, but I just found it's easier to make a whole nother channel for that. So I post all my gaming stuff on my Fornitron gaming channel. This is like my techie channel. And every weekend I'm going to be going over some tech support questions that I get on my channel, because I find I get the same questions over and over. So I thought let's just do this on the reg. All right, let's get into it. So I'm gonna actually, why don't I go to my channel so I can open up these questions? And I got something cool that I'm gonna go over in today's stream. I hope y'all are excited for that. All right, let's switch over. Okay, let's start from the first question that I got that I didn't answer last week. I think I did answer this one last week. So I get all audio in my stream except my teammates' audio. Am I doing something wrong? So if they're chatting with their teammates over Discord, you just got to add Discord as like a desktop audio device in OBS. So if I have OBS open, I would go to sources here, and then you would add audio output capture. Call it Discord because it's outputting audio. It's not like your input of audio. And then device, I think Discord comes up as a device once you've popped that open. Yeah, like Discord comes up, like it's just my, so like right now I've got music playing, but if I had just Discord playing, it would just play out of here. So we can just get rid of that. So that's how you do that. Easy. I have a similar capture card, but when I connect it all up, follow setup instructions, I get not supported on screen in OBS. Is something I'm doing or what is happening? Me too. Did it work? So not supported, your console or whatever you're trying to capture is either outputting a resolution that isn't supported by the capture card. So again, that's why I stress that you make sure your console's outputting 1080p 60. I don't care if your console can do 4K. I don't care. Just set it to 1080p 60 because that's what these capture cards can support. So you take your nifty little capture card. So here's again. This is just the $39 one. This is the cheapest one you can get. And it always works. It literally always works. You just have to make sure your device is set up at 1080p 60. Here, I'm going to do it for you again, because again, it always works. So here's a blank OBS Studio. Here's the capture card. I'm going to plug it in via USB. And then I'm going to plug in a console to the HDMI input of the capture card. And then I'm even going to show you, I'm going to use a PS5 this time around because a lot of people tell me like, oh, it doesn't work on PS5. It absolutely does. This is the $39 capture card. So I'm in a new OBS. I'm going to choose a new scene just so it's really fresh. And then in the sources, I'm going to add a video capture device. We're going to call this $39 capture card. Call it whatever you want. And then it's going to be this one, USB 3 video, because that's the only device I have plugged in right now. So you'll see there's nothing on the screens because my PlayStation 5 is off, but I'll turn it on right now. And boom, we got a PS logo right there. So I'm going to hit OK. This is why, again, I know not everyone's a techie, but it's frustrating because this shit works every single time. It works every single time. So here we are. We got my PlayStation up. Got all my stuff here. Oh, but there's no audio. It's because we haven't added the audio source yet. So we got to do the same thing, but instead of video capture, we choose audio input capture. We're going to call this $39 capture card audio. $39 capture card audio. And we're going to select this digital audio interface. It's the USB 3 digital audio because that's the device that I have plugged in. And now we've got audio from our console. Video and audio on a PS5 on the $39 capture card. I've done nothing different than any of my videos that I've shown. This is how it's set up. Literally, also make sure you go into your settings. And then you're going to go into screen and video output. See, I have the resolution's automatic, but you should set this to 1080p 60. You also want to go to the bottom and then you want to make sure RGB range is automatic and deep color output is off. There's also right here. So in settings, go down to system and then go down here to where it says HDMI and then enable HDCP. You have to do this before your capture card's plugged in. So while your console's still plugged into your TV, this is only necessary for PlayStation consoles. You go into settings and you make sure enable HDCP is off. You got to make sure this setting is off. If you have it on, you won't be able to capture any footage from your PlayStation. So once you've done that, also go into the video settings and screen video, and then just make sure your video output is set to 1080p. So see 1080i not supported, but your console shouldn't be outputting any of those. It might be outputting 4K or 1440p. You should have it set to 1080p, but automatic seemed to detect it just fine. And we have our console right up in our OBS right here, and we can start playing. And it just works. It just works, dude. That's the frustrating thing. It just works. So let's just try to answer this. Okay, first off, this 100% works. Every single time. Here is where you may be going wrong. 1. Check to make sure you have your console's video output set to 1080p 60 FPS. I don't care if your console can do 4K. You are not capturing in 4K. So the capture card can only support resolutions up to 1080p 60 FPS. Unless the capture card can support above that, which I still, put on all caps, still wouldn't do because can't stream in 4K on Twitch. 2, make sure that you have HDCP disabled in PlayStation settings. Go to settings. What was it? It was settings and then system and then HDMI. System, HDMI, make sure HDCP is disabled. After this, it should 100% work. Aramis Gaming, how the hell are you? Nice. Hey, I love your videos. Any help fine-tuning my settings? I'm running a Shure SM7B, just like I am. Focus rate 2i2, Elgato 60X, MacBook Pro M2, and Logitech headset, PS5 and Asus curved monitor and OBS I've watched. Wow, info dump of all your gear. All your vids, they help me so much. So what do you need help with? You got the HD60X. You know what? Are you using a Mac or a PC? Because I personally, and this was after I made that video, I've switched back from using the HD60X. I use the Elgato HD60S Plus again. I went back to that because the HD60X, I found it was always defaulting to 4K 30 for my capture, no matter what settings I changed. So like I would be streaming in 60 FPS and then I'd watch my footage back and I'd be like, this doesn't look like 60 FPS. And then I like scrubbed it and I looked frame by frame and it was like doubling every frame. So it was like 30 FPS or like 45. And no matter what I changed, it just kept doing that. So I just switched back. Oh yeah, you even said M2 MacBook Pro. So what do you need help with? What are you trying to do? So what about your audio settings? Let's keep going with some of these questions while they're typing that out. All right. Does this work for dual PCs? Yes. So people always ask that, like, dual PCs. Dual PCs is nothing special. Dual PCs is not difficult. Your main PC that you use for gaming, you treat it like a console. So if your gaming PC is like your daily driver, that's going to be tough for you because you probably want to have it hooked up to dual monitors and stuff. You don't do that with a dual PC streaming setup. So with dual PCs, what you do is the PC that's your main gaming computer, you treat it like a console. So your video card that you have plugged into that PC, the output of that, you just plug an HDMI cable directly into your capture card, which is connected to the streaming PC via USB. And then that way, the reason why that's beneficial is because then you don't have to have the OBS crap running while you're playing your game, and you have all of your performance going into playing that game. And that's the best way to set it up. So yes, it does work on dual PCs. Yes. You treat your main gaming PC like a console, and you plug an HDMI cable from your graphics card on the gaming PC into the HDMI input of the capture card that is connected to your streaming PC via USB. Easy. I can't get game audio and chat on my headset included in my stream, and I also attach my iPhone to my Mac for video. What? They have said there's a weird pitch and echo and no in-game chat comes through. I think I answered that one before, but here I'll go over it again. Why did I just open up Steam? I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so just with yes or no questions, answer me right now. How do you, okay, that's not a yes or no question. How do you chat with your friends when you play the game? Are you guys on Discord, or are you guys using like the party chat that's built into the console? You got the 4KX? Yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like the whole 4K thing, because you can't, like, you can stream on YouTube in 4K, but I think it's 4K 30 at most. I think what the meta is if you have a powerful enough streaming computer, is you have your canvas in OBS set to 4K, and you have all your stuff in 4K, and then your output to Twitch or YouTube is still 1080p 60. But if you're locally recording to like make like clips or like YouTube stuff, then your shit's all in 4K, and that's where the meta is in console. So yeah, so if you are chatting, if you're using the party chat in console, you have to have the chat link cable that connects to your capture card. You have to have that. So you would go from your gamer headset to the chat link cable, and then it plugs into your controller, and then it has a separate output, like 3.5 millimeter, that would go into your capture card. The problem with that is all of the chat audio and game audio is baked in together as one audio track. So again, if you want to make like clips for like YouTube later on, or TikTok, or you want to make like videos for YouTube, all of that chat audio is baked in the audio. So if you have a friend that says something stupid, or maybe they're talking over like a thing that you want to show, you can't remove that audio. You have the replay buffer on for clips, etc. So that's what I use the most. Plus it's pass through, so better gaming experience for me and not necessarily for the viewers. Discord is 100% better. So a lot of people may whinge and I don't want to have to open up Discord. It's like, well, okay, then you don't get to be on my videos then. That's just the way it is. So with Discord, I just went over this earlier. So this is OBS right here. Here, I'll minimize this page so you can clearly see that this is OBS. So this is OBS right here, and we've got our console set up here. We see that there's audio. We see it's moving around right here. You want to add your Discord audio. So what I would do is I would just add an audio input source. There's an audio output capture, pardon me. And then you can call it, yeah, just call desktop audio. Did I already hide it? Unhide all. Yeah. So there's already a desktop audio here, and it's also picking up the music that I'm playing. But if you have a Discord call going on, you'll hear all that. And then what's great about this is you have separate audio sources that you can mix later on. So when you go into these like 3 cogwheels right here, you go to advanced audio properties, you're going to see here, you have this section called tracks, and there's tracks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6. You want everything always on track 1, but the rest of the tracks you could separate out. So what I usually do is I have the capture card audio on track 2 by itself. And then like I'll have my microphone on like number 3, and then I'll have like the desktop audio on number 4. Or yeah. That way when you record, so apart from streaming, if you're recording as well, you can open up the video file and it'll have separate audio tracks, which you probably won't see unless you put it into your video editor. And that just opens up a whole lot more options, and you don't have that baked in audio. So again, like if you want to have like a clip and your friend said something stupid, you can just take out their audio, and then you still have the audio from your microphone and the audio from the game capture. So that's how you want to do it. You want to make sure that your friends are on Discord audio. Let's keep going with these questions here. How to fix freezing. So, okay. So freezing. So if you're finding, so check this out. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to start flipping between these two things. So you see the video feeds working, but check this out. I think the example I want to use is this. See, nothing's happening. It's frozen. Maybe we'll take a second to kick back in. So freezing like this is usually a sign of USB issues. So if I go back to my capture card, let's go to properties. And then if I just flip it back, or maybe even if I just like remove it and re-add it, or just go like this. Let's remove it and re-add it. It's a video capture device. $39 capture card. Sees it right there. Boom. And we're back. So the reason why it froze is I literally just unplugged the USB cable from the capture card, and then I just plugged it back in. So if you're suffering from freezing, that means that there's a USB issue. So I would bet my bottom dollar that you have like a flimsy USB hub plugged in, or like some shitty USB adapter. Get rid of that. You should get like an actual cable. So let's say you have the $39 capture card. It's only got USB type A plugs on the side, and maybe you're using like a modern Mac, which only has USB type C. Get a USB A to USB C cable. I think the capture card comes with it, and that way you're not having to use a crappy adapter or use a different port. Boom. See, bro, you helped me a lot. Thanks. Glad it worked. Thanks for watching the video. I can't get my game even when I did everything right. Clearly didn't do everything right if you can't get your game. Watch the video again and follow the instructions closely. Closely. 1. If you are using a PlayStation, make sure you have HDCP disabled. Settings, system, HDMI, HDCP disabled. 2, make sure your console is outputting 1080p 60 FPS, not 4K. Even though it can do 4K, you are only capturing in 1080p. Okay, this next question like really gets under my skin, and I get it from a certain point of view, but it still really irritates me. So this is a recent video, the best capture card to buy in 2024. That is our current year as we're doing this stream. Mac and PC. So I have the Elgato HD60S with an M3 MacBook Pro, and I'm starting to believe that the two aren't compatible. They're not. The HD60S never worked with any of the Macs. Which capture card do you recommend for my M3 Mac Pro? You're on the fucking video. You're making a comment on the fucking video where I answer that question. What makes it even better? What is the extra kick? Is this other person is like, I have an M1 with the same question. Let's watch the video together, everybody. So it's 2024 and you want to start streaming on Twitch, or maybe you want to start a YouTube Let's Play channel. You're gonna need a capture card, so let's get one. Go on Amazon.com and then you're gonna search for UVC capture card. Once this comes up, you're gonna scroll down and you're gonna look for one that looks like this. So same capture card I have. It might be a different brand than this one, but they all look like this. It's 34 bucks. It's $34. I said it was $39. Capture card that you can get, and I verified that it works. I have one right here. Yeah, we just did today as well. One says it does 4K. I wouldn't trust that one bit, but it absolutely does not do 4K. It may support 4K pass-through, so meaning because there's an HDMI input and an HDMI output. The HDMI output is used to plug an HDMI cable from the capture card to your TV or monitor, so you can live monitor what you're playing. You never, ever want to go off the gameplay from OBS because there is a little bit of lag, and you won't like that. So you should have the HDMI output plugged into your TV or monitor that your console was previously directly connected to. So that's why these things say 4K, is they might support 4K pass-through, but they don't capture in 4K. It'll definitely do 1080p 60, which is the maximum that you can actually stream on Twitch. I know on YouTube you could stream a little bit higher bitrate, but that's fine. Yeah, in Twitch, your maximum bitrate is 6,000 kilobits per second. On YouTube, which I'm streaming with right now, you can do 12,000. So higher bitrate, better video quality, less pixelization with fast moving objects. And then for recording footage as well, you're probably gonna be recording in 1080p 60. Yeah, so for 1080p 60, my record bitrate is 30,000 kilobits per second. So it's a big difference from 6,000 that you're streaming with. This capture card will work with any HDMI device. So that means any consoles with HDMI will work. So that means PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, the Nintendo Switch, and even older consoles like the Xbox 360 and the PS3 with an asterisk. What I mean by with an asterisk for the PS3 is, like I mentioned in the previous stream, the PS3 has no software way of disabling HDCP. So their HDCP is always going through the HDMI channel on like the output of the console. So what HDCP is, again, for people just joining, is it's DRM protection for digital content. So like Netflix or things like that. Because if you didn't have HDCP, people could just plug in a capture card to any device that has Netflix and you could just record Netflix movies. So obviously I don't want that. So what HDCP does is when you open up an app like Netflix or something and it can tell that there's a capture device connected, it'll just black out your screen. So because HDCP is always on the PS3, you can't capture the video output. It'll just come up as a blank screen. What I've done to circumvent that is I bought a HDMI splitter that takes an HDMI output and splits it into two. It's like an HDMI Y cable. So it takes one output and it makes two outputs with it. But what I do is I plug in that splitter, and then from that output, I plug that into the capture card. And what that splitter does is it strips the HDCP signal from that PS3. It's a hassle. It's an extra thing that I got to plug in and an extra HDMI cable I got to use, but I wanted to have my PS3 in my setup. So that's why I have it. And that's why there's an asterisk there. It does work, but it's a bit more work. But here's the most important bit. This capture card works on both PC and Mac, and it's plugged right there. This capture card works on both PC and Mac. And look what I'm fucking adding it on right now. That's a Mac. That's my Mac. That's my M1 Mac Mini that I'm currently streaming on right now. Plug and play, meaning there's no drivers to install. You don't need to do anything. You just plug it in and your computer detects it like it's a webcam. Boom. What's great about this is, so again, it's right there in the video. It works on both PC and Mac. I even added on a Mac. What's the timestamp for that? Plug it in and it's plug and play, meaning with an asterisk. This 105. Capture card works on both PC and Mac, and it's plug and play, meaning there's no drivers to install. You don't need to do anything. You just plug it in and your computer detects it like it's a webcam. What's great about this, 105 to 116. I don't have patience for these types of people, but I get it. Like I talked about this in the last stream. Some people, what they need to hear is Chase McDaniel 6865. This capture card will absolutely work on an M3 MacBook Pro. And unless they hear that, they won't understand. They won't understand that when I say it works on Mac, it works on M1 Macs, M2 Macs, M3 Macs, even the brand new M4 Macs that are coming out. It'll also works on Intel Macs as long as they have a powerful enough processor. They don't hear that. What they hear is he didn't say the thing that means anything to me, which is I have this particular Mac. I want to hear these exact set of words. Also, it's a personal gripe of mine when people call it an M3 Mac Pro. You don't have an M3 Mac Pro. You have an M3 MacBook Pro. I have an M1, same question. But yeah, so it 100% works on Mac. So I'm going to go over something cool today, now that we've gotten through these questions. So we've got our capture card audio, we've got our desktop audio for any music or like Discord stuff that we're playing. If you notice, when I stop talking, the music gets a little louder. And then when I talk, the music gets quieter. And I'm not over here like turning knobs and shit. It's doing it for me automatically. So I've set up a set of filters on both my microphone and my capture card audio so they do that, because I make a lot of guides for video games and I didn't want to like constantly be like adjusting the audio as I was editing the video. I want the audio to dip on its own when I'm speaking, and so people can clearly hear what I'm saying and they're not distracted by any loud noises that are going on in the game, which can happen depending on the game that you have. So we're going to go over some audio settings today, and this is going to be the thing that I close out with. So I'm going to be using this microphone that I used to use on the daily before I got this SM7B. And this is the Fifine K658 podcast microphone. This is like their version of the SM7B, but literally this could be any microphone. Why this one is special is because it has an audio output jack. I'm gonna open up this bitch. They packed it away all nice. It's a nice microphone. It's a really nice microphone. So here it is. Really cool. It's got this big mute button on the top, and then you'll see on the back there that it's got a USB Type C, and it's got a headphone output jack. And that's what you want to look for whenever you're buying a USB microphone. You want to make sure that it's got an audio output jack of some kind. So a headphone out. Man, I forgot how long this cable is. I really just forgot how nice this microphone is. It's legitimate. Like, it was, and it's such a good deal too. Like, I think it's only like $100, and it's a really good quality microphone. But like, honestly, like if you're just starting out, get a $30 microphone. Who cares? Get whatever USB mic you can afford, as long as it has a headphone out port. Okay, I'm just throwing this shit over here. Okay. So it's got this like nifty cage that you screw it in. And it's a shock mount cage. So that way, like if you're putting it on your desk, because it's mountable on like a mic arm mount like I have here, or it comes with a little tripod stand. And I find when you put microphones on a tripod stand, they pick up all the vibrations on your desk. And you don't want that, because it gets really irritating for the viewer when all they can hear is like a bunch of rattling around on your desk. And all the components are like metal. They're not cheap plastic. It's a very good quality mic. Can't say enough nice things about Fifine. They're a great brand, especially if you're like beginner and then getting your way up to like semi-professional. And I'm not trying to make like a commercial for them. Wow, I haven't even opened this. I had mine mounted like I mentioned earlier. Okay, let's screw this bad boy in. You won't even be able to hear me because I'm not streaming from this stream that we're setting up here on the live stream. Okay, I'm gonna plug in this cable. And I'll plug it into the PC. Yeah, let's plug in that stupid webcam again. All right. Go back to our window here. Okay, so let's add these elements to our stream. So this fucking microphone's gonna come a lot closer if it's gonna be able to pick me up okay. You should always, rule of thumb, you should have your microphone about a fist's distance away from your mouth. So one of these. So your microphone should never be like more than this away. And that's how you get the best audio quality out of it. Okay, so we're back in our OBS here. We're gonna add our webcam and our microphone. So let's add the webcam first. It's the easiest. We're just gonna go plus We're going to choose a video capture device. We're going to call this webcam. I was like, what's happening with the music, dude? Oh, did it automatically change my audio output? It did. That's funny. I was like, why don't I hear anything? It automatically changed my output to the microphone, which is smart. Okay, USB video. We're gonna change this to the live streamer cam. Oh, it's this prick. Look who it is. One thing. Wow, this thing really captures light. Okay, one thing that I like to do with any type of camera is I like to trim out the shit you don't need to see. So you don't need all the space above my head. So we're just gonna hold Option on your keyboard. Or is it Control on PC? Or is it Alt? Which button is it on PC to automatically like chop off the bits here? Oh, Control E? That is not working. Aw, that's lame. That looks like it's just shrinking it. Oh yeah, crop left. It's like, why is my keyboard not working? How to crop in OBS Windows. It was the Alt key. Okay. I think I was holding Alt. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I like to get rid of this bitty on the top. Maybe we'll just... Okay, yeah. Now it's not working. What the hell? Bitch, I'm holding Alt. There we go. Just like a little bit there. A little bit there. Boom. Oh, you guys can't see this. There we go. Okay, so we got our camera now. Let's lock that bitch up. Oh, and it automatically gets our webcam audio, which I hate. So we're gonna mute this and we're gonna hide it. And I'm gonna remove this. Let's add our new microphone. So we're gonna put plus, and then it's an audio input capture. USB mic. And then we're going to choose the microphone, Fifine K650D microphone. And voila, we can see our audio. And you can see it clips out when I talk really close. So you know that microphone's working. So we're going to go over the setting that I have where it'll automatically dip down the audio whenever I talk. So it's a cool set of little settings here. Okay, so what we're going to do on the stream here is on our USB mic, we're going to right click on it and we're going to choose filters. As you see, we have no filters. So we're going to add our first one, which is going to be a noise suppression. I just leave it at the default settings. What this does is it eliminates any like shitty background noise that you have. So when you're not talking directly in the microphone, if there's like any weird like buzzes or clicks or crackles that you have in your room, it'll eliminate a lot of that dirty background noise, which is what you want. It'll make your audio sound a lot cleaner. We're gonna add a noise gate. What a noise gate does is it's kind of like a person who's operating a slider on your microphone. So what it does is when you're not speaking, they change the slider all the way to 0, so it's not capturing any audio. Again, why a noise gate is helpful is when you're not talking, you're not getting like shitty little breathing sounds or like any background sounds that are in your ambient room or your ambient space. Trust me, if you have like a fan going or like shit's moving in your room, it picks up in the microphone. People can hear it when you're playing. So these settings are not like for like. You have to test them out for yourself. It depends if you're a loud talker or you're a quiet talker. You're going to adjust these. So the close threshold, we're going to have at negative 45 dB. And the open threshold, we're going to have negative 35. So the open threshold is at what point does the microphone open up and start taking in your audio, depending on how loud the noise is. So if you make this really low, you'll see some people on stream or on videos, and you can definitely tell that they fucked around with their audio settings, because you'll notice that when they start talking, sometimes it won't capture their audio, and it takes a few seconds before it starts recording their audio. It's almost like a stutter, like they have a bad internet connection. No, a lot of the times it's because they've put on a noise gate and they've had the open threshold set too loud. So you want it to open up earlier. So you want like a higher negative dB. So if negative 35, you find it's cutting you off, maybe change it to negative 40 or like keep going. And then the close threshold, again, that's when you stop talking. So you'll sometimes hear like some people talking, and if they have like spaces in between their words, so maybe they're thinking about and then it's like cutting out whenever they're talking a little bit slower like that, it's because their closed threshold is set too sensitive as well. So you want to like adjust this as well. You want your attack time to be fast. So 25 milliseconds is a little bit slow. So I'm going to change that to 1 millisecond. The whole time we want to keep at 200 milliseconds. And then the release time is perfect at 150 milliseconds. Again, this might not work for you. I'm a loud talker, so this works for me. If you're not a loud talker, you might want to fiddle with these. Always, 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 before you go live, do a test recording in your OBS. So just hit start recording and record a few moments of bullshit of you just talking, and then see if your audio sounds okay. Always do that first, because you don't want to make a mistake and record like a long video series and then find out your audio shit and you can't clean it up later on. So my little advice to all of you. Let's keep going. We're going to add a compressor. And what a compressor does is it just evens out all of your audio. It does kind of eliminate a little bit of dynamics. And I fiddled with my settings a little bit. So like if you talk real quiet like this, and then you go into loud talking, you won't have as much dynamics. It'll even it out. And then that way it's not like such a big volume boost to somebody listening with headphones or through speaker. It still might be a bit much, but it makes it a bit better. So it just evens out the audio levels. So there isn't such big jumps. So if you're someone who normally talks at like a lower volume and then you go loud all of a sudden, it's not going to make people shart in their pants or blow up their speakers. So we're going to edit these settings a little bit here. I'm going to change the ratio to 3:1. And then my threshold is -25. The attack, we're going to move to 10 milliseconds. The release, we're going to change to 100 milliseconds. And output gain, we'll put 6.1 dB. Okay. We're going to add a limiter. The reason why you want to add a limiter is so you don't peak your audio. And what it'll do is with software, it'll manually turn down the loud moment so you're not going above 0 dB, because 0 dB is kind of the max where you want your audio to hit. So I change this to -5. And then the release, I have it 200 milliseconds. Okay, and the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little bit of gain. The reason why is just in case you are talking a little bit quietly, it'll boost it. So your audio, again, is always kind of at the same level. So these are all the settings that we have for the microphone. And trust me, after you do that, your microphone will sound a lot more clean. But you still got to be a good distance away from your microphone. Like this microphone's pretty far away from me right now, so it'll be kind of like roomy or echoey. So that's why, again, big rule of thumb is you always want your microphone to be no more than a fist distance from your mouth. So you want to be as close as possible. I angle my microphone because I have lots of plosives in the way that I speak. So plosives are like pa, ba, ta, those types of noises. So you want to get away from getting those right in the microphone. So that's why when you're talking, you have air coming out of your mouth and it's coming directly straight forward. So that's why having an angled microphone that's still within the right amount of distance, but it's not like directly receiving those plosives is perfect. You could get like a cheap pop filter off Amazon for like $15, and that massively helps out as well if you are a very plosive talker. We're not done yet. Now we want our USB mic to automatically dip the audio whenever we're speaking. So we actually have to go So we're going to go to our capture card audio. We're going to right click. We're going to go to filters. And we're going to add a compressor. For this one, I have it set to 5:5 ratio. So 551. I have the threshold at -32 dB. The attack is at 200 milliseconds. The release is at 650 milliseconds. The reason why the release is so long is because you might still be talking. You might have a short pause in your voice before you move on to your next sentence. And you don't want like the audio from the game or whatever you're playing to like fucking jack up every little moment in between speaking. So that's why you want the release to be a little bit longer. The output gain, you can leave at 0 dB, but here's the most important section here. The sidechain ducking source, you want to change this to your microphone. And now when I talk, you could see that the capture card audio is dipping lower whenever I talk. And then you see when I stop talking, the audio goes up. So play around with this as well. Like if you want it to go quieter, just play around with the compression a little bit. But this massively steps up your stream. And oh, you didn't even see any of that. I apologize. So let's go over those capture card filters again. Or those, the capture card audio filters. So it's just a compressor. These are the settings. And then I chose my USB microphone in this drop down list here. So it was ratio 551, negative 32 dB, 200 millisecond attack, 650 millisecond release, and then 0 output gain. So again, when I talk here, you can see that it dips down the audio for the capture card. And then when I go back, the capture card audio goes back up. This will massively step up the quality of your stream or even just your YouTube recordings. And you want to do so much fiddling with the audio, but you still have the options to do so. So let's unhide all. Let's just hide the webcam one. So here I have multiple audio sources. I have my capture card audio. I have my desktop audio, which I use for like Discord or if I'm watching a YouTube video on stream or something. You got your USB mic. So you have these 3 audio sources. So again, when we click on this little cogwheel here, or just any one of these 3 dots, go to advanced audio properties. Here we can set our audio channels. So again, you want everything on audio channel 1. The reason why is you stream on audio channel 1. So you want all of your audio sources going to audio channel 1. Maybe not the webcam audio. We'll take that off. And then you separate your audio. So I have the capture card audio on channel 2. I have my USB mic on channel 3. And then I have desktop audio on channel... Oh, this is channel 3. So this is 2, 3, 4. And what that does is everything is on channel 1. But when I record a video, there'll be a second channel and a third channel and a fourth channel. And then when I'm editing in like a video editor, I can separate those channels out. So if I don't want any of the desktop audio, I'll take that out. And I just want the game capture audio. Or maybe there's moments where I don't want my own audio. So I'll take out my audio channel, etc., etc. So this will really step up your capture card settings. But yeah, like this is a very basic stream setup. It 100% works on a $34 capture card with the PlayStation 5. You see it right in front of you here. It works on both Mac and PC, M1 Mac, M2 Mac, M3 Mac, even the upcoming M4 Macs. It'll work on Intel Macs as well, as long as they have a powerful enough processor to stream. So I'd recommend anything past 2016 should work. You might have to step down your stream to like 720p 60, but it still should work. All of this shit works, and it's super, super duper easy. And again, we go into our settings and our video is 1080p, 60 FPS. You want to make sure these are both the same and it's set to 60 FPS. You also want to make sure your output for streaming is set to 6,000 kilobits per second if you're streaming to Twitch. If you're streaming to YouTube, you can bump it up to 12,000 kilobits per second. Again, if you have the internet connection to support it. So you need an upload internet speed of minimum 10 megabits per second for 6,000 kilobits, because you want to have that 4,000 buffer, because other people are likely going to be on your network. So you want to have minimum 10 megabits per second upload speed. If you want to go 12,000 kilobits per second, then you want to have like a minimum 15 or 20 megabits upload speed. A lot of places you could probably get like 100 megabits upload and download simultaneously. I have gigabit internet, so I can go 1,000 megabits download and upload. So I could probably stream at 30,000 kilobits if I wanted to, if there was a platform that supported that. You want to make sure for your stream, your keyframe intervals are 2 seconds. And then the rest of this you don't touch. So you just hit OK. And then see your audio track, you're just on 1. That's why I have everything ticked off for 1. Over here in advanced audio properties, that's why everything is on channel 1. It's because you stream on channel 1. You want everything included in that. Back to settings, back to output, and then recording. For recording, it's a little bit different. I have it set to 30,000 kilobits per second. You don't have to have any keyframe intervals. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's literally how you do it. So I hope you guys got something out of this. I'll be here next Sunday and I'll answer your questions, but please, if you want to ask a question, make sure you watch the full video first. I have a ton of these videos on my channel too. It's not like you have to search very hard. So let's go to this channel, the Fornitron channel. And right at the top, like they're all like streaming videos, and I have playlists. So everything you need to start a stream on a Mac, it's right here. Mac streaming, how to, and Mac setup videos. It's all right here. There's a bunch of stuff right here. Maybe I'll get rid of this For You section because it still shows some of my gaming stuff. But yeah, you guys didn't see any of that. Go to my channel. I've got playlists right here that's got everything you need. There's a ton of videos that show you how to set up a capture card, how to set up a stream, how to set up all of it. It's all here. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thanks for coming to hang out. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody. Cheers.